Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Matters. For over 11 years, the voice of real estate in Flagler County and Palm Coast, Florida. I'm Toby Tobin, publisher of GoToby.com. I'm a contributor to the Palm Coast Observer, and I'm also a Florida licensed realtor with Landmark Group at Compass. Co-host Anna Maria Long is in the studio with me today. Hello, Anna Maria.
Hi, Toby. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. For those of you who are watching the video podcast and you see this humongous bandage on the top of my head.
I didn't do it.
No, I cut myself shaving.
Yeah, that's the story. Mm-hmm.
It's right up there where my hairline used to be. So thank you to our sponsors. Our lead sponsor is Veranda Bay, which is a private developing community on John Anderson with lots and luxury homes. It's an intercoastal waterway community in Flagler Beach. They're actually annexing into Flagler Beach, but that is already their
Address.
mailing address. So it's a Flagler Beach. Be kind of cool to be on the intercoastal and have a zip code and a mailing address that says Flagler Beach.
It would be, yes.
Yeah.
On that side of the intercoastal. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they feature homes by Olson Homes, AR Homes by Arthur Reitenberg, ICI Homes, and Hulbert Homes. And they have recently opened a new section that's going to be featuring homes by Toll Brothers and Dreamfinders. Toll Brothers has already started their model home. You can find out more about Veranda Bay at going to verandabay.com. And we're also sponsored by the Flagler County Home Builders Association. That's where Anna Maria works.
Yes, it is.
And the
Hammock
Community Church on A1A in the Hammock, a mile and a half north of the toll bridge. Small enough to know you, but large enough to serve you. And that's my church, by the way. So if you want to come to the 11 o'clock service. They also have a 9 o'clock service, but I go to the 11 o'clock service. So let's run through quickly some September month to date. We're just barely a third of the way through the month. So these numbers are going to change a lot by the end of the month, but we're going to give them to you anyway. 71 homes sold via the Flagler MLS system. But a surprise, the median price month to date is $385,000, which is substantially above last year was, I have it was $324. No, it's not. I have a typo, so I can't tell you what it was last year. But it was in the 350s, I think, or 360s. Days on market, 57, which is down a little bit from the last few weeks that we've been reporting. The 250,000 and under, which we track every week, 4 of those homes sold in that category, only 1 for cash. So I wonder if we're seeing an exit in the investor market. But they're still selling very quickly down at that end of the market with only 10 days on market. The upper end of the market, $1 million plus homes, 4 of those also, but 3 of them were cash. Days on market, 119, which is more typical for the more expensive homes. 1,355 homes listed. That keeps us in pretty much the 6 months of inventory, which is a neutral market. Homes pending, 327, and actually both of those numbers, homes listed is down somewhat from a week ago and from the first of the month, and homes pending is up from a week ago. So sniffing a little bit of positive vibe out of those numbers.
See if that continues.
Yeah, I think so. The median price of the homes that are pending is $385. And we're running right now at 97%. The median closing price is 97% of the median listing price. So take 385 times 0.97. And you get an idea of what the homes are going to close at over the next month and a half. Here's a shocker. Single-family permits listed or pulled in August, 98 versus 293
The last, yeah,
last August.
the last time it was close to this low was in, I believe it was April of 2020. We all know what was happening then, and it was
That was
for
COVID.
88.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Interesting.
yeah, 88 permits, April of 2020.
The Gindex is down from July from 4.9 to 4.14. And the Gindex is named after Bobby Ginn, who kind of put us on the map 20 some years ago, 25 years ago. But it's a number that I invented, and it's basically the ratio between the number of homes listed and the number of homes pending. And it seems to be a pretty good indicator of the general health of the market. So the main topic today, we're going to, last week we went over a recent posting on gotoby.com
Mm-hmm.
that was talking about, does growth really pay for itself, and is that the question we should be asking? And we argued, I think, conclusively, since it was my idea in the first place, it's easier to be conclusive. But anyway, that if that's really not the question we should be asking is, does growth help or hurt existing residents? And
Right.
cost of government's going up, so your taxes are going to go up anyway, whether there's growth or not. But I think we proved that your taxes will be going up at a lower rate if you're an existing homesteaded resident than if we had no growth.
Right. And that article is up on gotoby.com. So
Yes,
if you missed the show, you can, or if you want to get a little more information than what we talked about, it's
Right.
there.
Yeah. So gotoby.com was quiet for a couple of years because we had some health issues and other issues in the family, and my health issues are now, other than this thing on my head, have gone. So it's a revitalized gotoby.com. So stay tuned. We're going to be having our video podcast on it by sometime next week. Okay, Flagler County is experiencing significant residential development, but not as significant as the people on social media would say. And we talked about that to some extent last week. But people have, I lived in Grand Haven for the first 11 years that I was in Palm Coast, from 2000 to 2011. And we still have a lot of good friends there. But we knew people in Grand Haven that never went as far west as US 1. I mean, they tended to stay on the compound.
Yeah, you don't really have to go over 95 if you don't want to.
No, well, and Grand Haven is an amenity-rich community too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got a couple of places to eat and drink, and
you could like roll around in a golf cart and get groceries delivered, and you're pretty much good to go.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, lots of people really don't understand what's going. They'll hear the name of a new community, and they'll wonder where that is.
Yeah.
And I think there are probably a lot of people in Palm Coast that have never been driven through any of the Seminole Woods sections.
Right.
For instance, that's at the south end of town.
Or they'll see a sign go up and be very curious of what is that going to be.
Or trees being cut,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll, of course, jump on the bandwagon all about that. But anyway, I've been gathering data, doing research for 20 years, and I've got a mass of spreadsheets and a wealth of information, and I put all that together on a map. And what I did was, and it's a Google map as the basis, functional map. But what I did is I took the communities and segregated them into established communities, and then communities, and that would be like Grand Haven would be an established community. Even the conservatory I have as an established community. They're still building new homes there, and Palm Coast Plantation as well. They're still
but
building,
all the infrastructure's
the infrastructure's there, and they are truly
they're functioning
viable communities.
Yeah.
community centers are the amenities are
Right.
done, everything's ready to go. There's just some vacant lots
HOAs are
left.
likely in place
Hmm.
and all that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Then I've got the communities that are under active development, like those communities along US 1
Mm-hmm.
north of Palm Coast Parkway,
That still have like phases still being
Reverie.
put in, for example.
Well, they still have phases to
That would
go.
be active development. That
That's
they're in like phase 2 out of 5, for example.
yeah.
Okay.
Phase the active development. They have to actually be moving dirt. When they start moving
Gotcha.
dirt,
That puts
I
them in the
move them
active
into that
category.
category.
Okay.
And then I have another section for the permitted or entitled. But well, the new Del Webb community that's going to be going up on State Road 100 near Old Kings is in that category. Although the original development was approved over 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's moved any dirt yet.
Right.
And that one has some history. It was originally approved for, I don't know, 2,500 residential units, most of them multifamily apartments, but it was uh, something people never talk about is that developers are not always trying to increase density. Sometimes they come in and reduce it, and that's what happened here.
Yeah.
That project is now down zone to, well, not down zone, but
Down.
down density
Mm-hmm.
to 750 single family homes.
Significant decrease.
That's a significant
Yeah,
decrease.
because normally a developer will ask for the maximum to start because it's much easier to ask for a decrease than it is to ask for an increase.
Well, that's not an uncommon strategy. The government does it when they pass the maximum tax increase.
Yeah, right.
And
Yes,
then
and then they
actually
work their way
work
down.
their way down,
Your
so
millage rate and all that.
they get to look good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is absolutely a little bit of PR there.
So, and then the final category is just they're in the process. They're trying to get entitlements. They've applied for zoning because we have to go through so many stages to develop a new community. You have to, you have to buy the land, but even before you do that, you've got to do your due diligence.
Yes.
You got to find out, how you typically like to see a wetland delineation
Mm-hmm.
survey, which tells you how much upland you can really develop
What's
on,
usable?
and
Mm-hmm.
what's the layout. Because if you have a term most of our listeners probably are not familiar with is single loaded and double loaded roads. A single loaded road might have wetland or a lake or something like that on one side and then homes on the other. But for every 100 feet of road, you only have 100 feet on one side. A double loaded road has homes on both sides. And these are the
Gotcha.
kinds of things you have to lay out because that affects how many lots you're going to be able
Right.
to sell and what your ultimate yield is going to be. So we've got to take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back and more on this subject. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. This is the second half of Real Estate Matters, sponsored as a lead sponsor by Veranda Bay, beautiful new developing community on the Intercoastal Waterway on John Anderson Boulevard in Flagler Beach. We're talking about a brand new article. Well, it went up on the 8th,
Mm-hmm.
introducing a new map that I developed based on data I've been collecting. There are literally thousands of hours behind this map.
Finally, so that's really what happened to your head. We extracted all the information from your brain and put it into this map.
Yes. You have to get it now while you still can. But anyway, for each of those categories of active, underactive, or mature, existing communities, the active development communities, you can turn these off on each one is a layer on the map, so you can, if you want to declutter the map, because there are well over 100
Yeah.
pins on that map.
So you can
So,
choose to only look at active or
mhm.
existing or
And then I've got other
coming.
subcategories. I've got single family homes, apartment complexes,
Hmm.
uh, condominiums, gated or non gated, and age restricted
Yes.
or not. So that would be the 55 plus or 62 plus communities. And you can put those in, so you can filter. And if you say, I
So
just
this
want
is
to
a
look at,
really helpful tool for not only residents to know what's going on in their community, but for a realtor or someone who's potentially looking to come into our area and know what's
a builder
available.
or developer builder that wants to keep closer tabs on their competition.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you're
Even,
just not from Flagler and you're looking at coming to the area, and I mean, I always see on like social media, what's an R section? What's a
yeah.
B section? I know our area can be confusing for that kind of
Well,
thing.
and then you have the terms like Belter, uh, the
Yes.
Indian
Right.
trails,
At Seminole Woods,
Seminole Woods,
Pine Lakes.
and they overlap the letter street
They
section.
do.
So
Like it's not always like
I
Seminole Woods is
I
S, but Indian Trails is an I.
I have those maps, and I think I might in a soon to come article publish those so you can see where Indian Trail starts and
That
where it
will be
ends,
so helpful.
and country club drive. What sections does that touch? Does it go into the F section or
Yeah,
not? And
where the kind of boundaries are.
hmm yeah, good idea. Thank you. I'll do that. So
I just keep giving you homework today.
I think I might make you an assistant.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, and you can search by subdivision name. There's a search bar, so you can, if you may not know whether Veranda Bay is classified as an established development or under development, you can just type in Veranda Bay and it'll find it. You can, when you click on either the name along the left hand side is the whole list of all the
Hmm.
pins. And then, of course, there's the map itself with the pins depicted on it. You can click on either the pin or the name of the community, and a little information box comes up, and it'll say that this was some of them are sketchy information, but at least they'll typically say it's approved for 250 homes
Hmm.
or for 79
Some of them are
homes.
really detailed, even
Yeah.
saying, because I was telling you that I I had early access to this, which was very fun. But I used it to get some information, and I was able to let someone know what communities had some lots available for sale still, and which ones were completely done,
Mm-hmm.
and you're only going to be able to buy a resale home in there.
Mm-hmm.
And which ones were coming online, and also kind of exclude or include for them 55 or 62 and up. Super helpful. And then so you're saying you could do the search. So if someone was driving down 100 and for the first time, for example, saw the Del Webb community sign,
Mm-hmm.
they could type in Del Webb,
Mm-hmm.
and
But not
then
while they're driving.
no, when they get home or to a stoplight or if they pull over to a Starbucks or something to be very safe. And they could type in Del Webb into this map, and then the information that you have will
Mm.
come up.
And that's where the information about
Beautiful.
the history of the development, how it was once approved. That was once called JX Properties, and it was
Mm-hmm.
a DRI, which is Development of Regional Impact, which they don't have anymore. That's
Right.
been supplanted by Planned Unit Development in the
PUD.
county, PUD, or MPD in the city, Master Plan Development.
Mm-hmm.
They all mean the same thing. But then it went through default when the market went potty and was bought inexpensively, and then it was re-resurrected and was recently purchased by Pulte Homes,
Mm-hmm.
and Pulte is the parent company of Del Webb, and so we're going to have a Del Webb community in Palm Coast. But if you were to see, if you go just east of that, you can see some trees being taken down and some work being done You might wonder what that is, and you'll see a sign there that says, "Is it not? It's not Beach Village, Ocean Walk, maybe." It's a beachy sounding name, and you can look that up and find out that that's an approved apartment complex with
Okay.
400 and some odd units that will be going up. And what a great location!
Yeah, the
That,
walkability is really
mhm.
good over there.
And I mean, you can walk to town center if
Right.
you're younger than I am, and actually walk or bicycle to the beach
Yeah, the
without
Publix
a.
is close by,
Mm-hmm.
and the shop. There's the restaurants in there.
Well,
So
there's a Winn-Dixie.
and the Winn-Dixie, yes,
Winn-Dixie's
across the
even
street.
even closer. Yeah. So anyway, those are some of the features of the map. I encourage you to, and it's up, it's there. So go to
Go on it right now. GoToby.com.
gotoby.com, and it's right now it's the latest story put up, and it was put up on the 8th. And be sure to benchmark it because you're going to want to go back because this is a live living map.
Right.
If
It'll
I
be updated
yeah,
regularly.
if I update something and you go look at it 10 seconds later, you'll see the update.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. See if there are any other points I need to make about that map. Oh, I had in the article, I've got a section I call perspective. And some of the things to put things into perspective, development projects often stall and later resume, and that is reflected in the text boxes.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, it's not just text because they're graphics. Sometimes you'll see site development plans, artist renderings,
As much as you were able to get
elevations, as
on
much
each
as I can
one.
get, and also you can get hyperlinks. So I have, for instance, with Veranda Bay, I have links to Hulbert's website. I have links to ICI's website,
They are.
and where they have special landing pages for Veranda
Right.
Bay. And I've got, in some cases, links to homeowners association documents. Even so,
That's so helpful.
it's got a lot of good information. But you're talking about history. Grand Landings serves as a prime example. Initially, it was envisioned by Landmar back in 2004 as a fly-in community, and it included an 11-court tennis facility and stadium court. And it has since evolved into a thriving residential neighborhood. Some parcels were spun off to become separate developments, and some are still in the early stages of development. But plans for the tennis complex and the airport access remain distant dreams.
That was my did you know for the week, and I did not know that it was going to be a fly-in, which makes the name Grand Landings click
Mm-hmm.
really good for me now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it works.
Grand Landings, like a plane flies in.
Good. Well, that's it for this week. We ran out of time again. We can finish this up again next week, I think. So if you have a question or suggestion for Real Estate Matters or gotoby.com, reach out to me. You can find me at 386-931-7124, or you can email me at toby@gotoby.com. I'm Toby Tobin, and I approve this show.